I got my chain snatched in Barcelona. So 1 second, I'm on the plane, and the next thing I know, I'm flying 15,000 feet in the air. We got invited to Javi's 21st birthday batch. I tried snail in France for the first time. Recorded myself like my first time seeing them, and I don't know why I was just geeking because I was like, that's one of the 7 wonders of the world. I tried Turkish beer for the first time, and I swear it tasted exactly like Corona. I don't know if I'm tripping, but yeah, guys, that's what I've been doing this past month. Crazy month. Welcome back to another RB podcast. Guys, today we have no guests, no Abel, it's just me. And the reason for that is because I probably had the best / craziest month of my life. And I love doing these because in 5 years from now, I could come back to this podcast and just reminisce on all the memories and stuff. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. We post a podcast once every 6 months, but when we do post, we got some good stories to tell. So also follow me on my socials. If you don't already, I'll pop them up on the screen. Way more active on there. So if you want to keep up with all the crazy stuff me and Abel be doing and going to, make sure you guys follow us. And also the RFB account, pop it up on the screen. Low key, I have a lot to talk about, so I wrote it down on my phone. So I'm gonna just get right into it. The first topic that I wanted to talk about wasn't in that month of May that I'm about to talk about. It was back in April. And that's the Rauw Alejandro concert. First of all, 10 out of 10 concert. The set was 10 out of 10. The performance, the theme, I had a blast. I actually went to 2 shows. I went to the one in San Francisco and in Sacramento. But yeah, it was me and Abel. We bought 2 tickets. I bought 2 tickets, so my pockets were hurting a little bit, but it's fine. Me and Abel could finally say we started a trend on TikTok. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I posted this one TikTok of me and Abel singing "Tu con él," right? And it's just me and Abel just kind of lip singing it. And guys, when I tell you, I was thinking about this TikTok a month before the concert, and when we finally did it, it came out exactly how I was picturing in my head, right? And for the people that help me record TikToks and stuff, they know that I never do nothing first try. But that video, we did it first try. I posted it right there, and it did really good. And the reason I found out that it kind of became a trend was because I opened TikTok one day, and somebody, like 3 people had tagged me on their videos of them doing it. It was 2 guys, and then it was like this group of girls. And I was like, oh, like people are actually like, doing the same TikTok and stuff. So I click on the sound. And funny enough, that original sound I used, it got taken off TikTok, so my video got muted. And my video had like 900K at the time where it got when it got muted. So the views and the likes and stuff slowed down a lot. But thankfully, I found the sound of Rauw Alejandro singing it live, so I just posted that one, and it started picking up again. But yeah, I clicked on the sound, and then my video was at the top of the sound. And I started just scrolling through the videos, and then I saw that a lot more people were doing the TikTok and stuff. So I tried to repost as much as I could. But, shout out to people. If you seen the TikTok, you liked it, you shared it, whatever, shout out you. I also posted a lot of Get Ready With Me. You know how there was a theme that was kind of like, well, the official one was like, 1970s or whatever. But yeah, I did like 3-4 TikToks of me of like getting ready, like outfits for Rauw Alejandro. They did really good as well. So, funny enough, those were not the outfits that I wanted to wear. The outfits that were in my head, I just couldn't find the right clothes, and then I low-key started looking for them a little too late. So I just kind of last minute just put those together, and yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if I was at a jaripeo or something, and this one guy came up to me. He was like, "Hey, you're the Rauw Alejandro guy," and I was like, yeah," and he was like, "Oh, bro, like I seen your outfits. They're nice outfits, da da da." And I was like, "Oh, I appreciate it, whatever." I was like, "I'll take it, the Rauw Alejandro guy, I guess." But yeah, what a crazy concert. Like I said, I went 2 nights. I went San Francisco and Sacramento. San Francisco, I had floor seats, and then for Sacramento, I had nosebleeds. I was gonna go by myself, but then last minute, my friend Marvin, shout out Marvin and Steph, they were like, "Hey, who you going with? I'm like, I'm going by myself. I'm getting nosebleeds. He's like, we're getting nosebleeds. He's like, let's go together. I was like, all right, let's go. And we went. I had a blast. Might have had a little too much adioses or whatever, but it's fine. I also did a TikTok that did really well. It was me singing Pensándote. That's my fucking song right there. And I captioned it something like, probably needed a hug, but went to a Rauw Alejandro concert instead. And that one did really good too. So overall, the whole concert or whatever was a good experience. I had a blast. If you haven't gone and he's coming to your city, I suggest you go because I had a blast. That was my second time seeing him perform. My first time was in Baja Beach Fest, which was almost a year ago. So yeah, 10 out of 10. You guys need to go. But that was back in April. The month that I'm talking about that was crazy for me was the month of May. And we started off the month of May. Probably had the craziest 24 hours in Vegas. Let me run this down for you guys. I went with my boy Danny. Shout out Danny. And the only thing we had planned was to go see Tito Doble P. So last minute, we're like, what should we do? And I don't know how. I don't know how it came up. And we decided to go skydiving. So let me run down these 24 hours with you guys. It's crazy. So we wake up like 7 a.m. We get picked up at 8 a.m. From a van at a casino. They drive us like 30 minutes into the desert. We're signing a waiver. Next thing I know, I'm putting some skydiving gear on. And I think that's when it started kicking in like, oh, like I'm about to jump off a plane, right? And that's when I guess the nerves were kicking in a little bit. And we start walking towards the plane, and then the nerves start getting a little higher, but it's more like exciting nerves, not scared nerves. And for some reason, once we started going up, the nerves went away. I was like, you know what, I'm about to jump, like, I'm ready. And it wasn't until they opened the door of the plane and you could hear the wind come in that you realize how fast that plane is going. And I think that's when the nerves kicked in again, like, oh, like I'm about to jump off a plane. And I thought it was gonna like one by one, and they were gonna like put us like on the edge of the plane and be like, okay, you ready? I'm like, yeah, okay, ready, 3, 2, 1, jump. No, as soon as they opened that door, I had like 3, 4 people in front of me. They started jumping out like pow, pow, pow. I was like, wow. So 1 second I'm on the plane, and the next thing I know, I'm flying 15,000 feet in the air. And guys, I do not know how to describe that feeling as soon as you jump off the plane. It just feels amazing. Like Will Smith has this quote. I guess it's kind of corny or whatever, but it's true. He says something like, "You feel the most alive when you're in maximum danger or fear," or something like that. And it's true. Like I never felt like so alive. All it took was for me to jump off a plane. But everything was like beautiful. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like the view in Vegas, like you at first when we jumped off, you get the little butterflies, the little things you feel. I'm flying in the air, and the lady that's recording me, she's just waving at me. She's like telling me to blow kisses. She's making me like flex my bicep and everything. Honestly, it felt so fast. I was probably, that whole jump and everything, it probably was like a minute, maybe not like a minute, like 2 minutes probably. And when he pulled the parachute, he let me drive, so I was kind of like steering us and stuff like that. And yeah, it was crazy. For sure, check it off my bucket list. I always wanted to go skydiving. I just never really pulled the trigger, and I think it was perfect just because it wasn't planned. It was just literally the same day we were like, let's go skydiving. So that's how we started off the morning in Vegas. Right after that, we were like, all right, what should we do next? And we found out that Pauly D, I'm pretty sure you guys know who Pauly D is from Jersey Shore. We seen that he was having a beach party, probably like 2 hotels down. And we're like, should we go? And we're like, man, let's go. I'd never been to a beach party in Vegas. Funny story, my first time ever in Vegas. I was supposed to go, and they didn't let me in because I had some H&M shorts, and I needed to be swim shorts, so they didn't let me in. And so I was like, you know what, let's go, because last time I couldn't go. And so we go, and I had a blast, bro. Pauly D had the whole crowd lit. I took my shirt off. It actually started raining in the middle of the thing. I thought they were gonna like shut it down or something, but they just kept going. For some reason, not for some reason, but like I think it was such a good vibe because like everybody that was around me was just like super nice, you know what I mean? And like they were just having a good time and like you know what I mean? Like it was just such a good vibe. And it was crazy. Me and Danny were looking at each other like, hey, we just jumped off a plane like 2 hours ago, and now we're partying with Pauly D in a beach club or whatever. And so it's like we were trying to register like, wait, did we just jump off a plane? Like it didn't feel real, right? And so yeah, that was a blast. And after the Pauly D beach party, that's when Tito Doble P came. He was in the Souk nightclub, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, that's the whole reason we went. So we know the whole time we were like, we're about to see Tito Doble P. That's like my fourth, fifth time seeing him, so I already knew what to expect. But that man never disappoints. He always puts on the show. And yeah, bro, Tito comes up and he starts performing, starts going crazy, starts doing his little dance, starts taking shots. I know all the lyrics for all the songs, so I'm singing my heart out. Um, and I don't even know what time it ended, like 3 a.m. or something. I was just, dude, I was like, it's 3 a.m. and I jumped off a plane, party with Pauly D. Now I'm partying with Tito Doble P in Vegas. Crazy, crazy 24 hours. And then right after Tito Doble P, we went to El Gordo. I'm pretty sure you guys know El Gordo. Um, to get some tacos. I was munching, I was eating, and literally right after that, we just went to sleep and we drove the next morning, we drove back home. Literally, we went to Vegas just for one day, and that one day felt like I was in Vegas for a whole week. So that's how you know it was a good trip, a good 24 hours. So that was on a Saturday. This is the beginning of May, mind you. And literally on Sunday, I get back home from Vegas. All I do is just shower, pack some clothes, and me and Abel drove all the way to LA. You guys probably asking like, damn, why you guys go all the way to LA for? Me and Abel got invited. We got invited to Javi's 21st birthday batch in downtown LA. And shout out Alex for inviting us, and also shout out Rosa for always, helping us and always thinking about us when stuff like that happens. Um, so yeah, I just came back from Vegas, and I didn't even have time to relax or nothing. We drove all the way to LA, and yeah, we went to Javi's 21st. And as soon as we walk in, there's a red carpet, right? So you gotta walk through the red carpet, and there's people taking pictures of you, and you're over here posing or whatever. You got like 4 cameras flashing at you. You don't even know what camera to look at. I feel like I was Javi when I walked in. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the whole event was bro. I met so many people there. I actually wrote it down, and this is not even everybody that I met. But here, I'm gonna grab it because I had to write it down because I met so many people at that party. So this is the people that were there and I actually got to like conversate for a little bit with. I met Blessive, Pau, Wendy, Odette, Wilito. I mean, I had met Wilito before, but he was there. Jasmine, Alexis, Adam, Oblivion, Simplistic, Nivel Codiciado, Grupo Frontera, Jason Ween, Face Adapt, and the list goes on, guys. There was so many people there. It was kind of crazy. Me and neighbor were like, bro, we just met our whole For You page at Javi's 21st birthday batch. But yeah, the whole event was nice. It was a low-key, a little venue, but I mean, they had an open bar, and when open bar and me, you never know what you're gonna get. So, but I still had fun or whatever. I couldn't get a picture with Javi or some people just because there had a lot of people around them. I didn't want to be that guy that was bothering for a picture. So, I was just, doing my thing. Our boy David Vlogs was there. We kind of spent the whole time with him. So, shout out David. Oh, I think the coolest person that I met was Blessive, just because I actually had a quick, like, cool little conversation with him. I don't know if he's ever going to remember this or remember me, but we made eye contact and, like, he remembered that, we had a little conversation. He just looked at me. He was just like, something like that. And I was just like, peace out, you know what I'm saying? Because he left a little earlier. And yeah, and then I wrote this down because this was so funny to me. So me and Abel, the last time we went to LA, me and Abel slept in a Tesla, and we got invited to ESLABON release party, and we were just going for that day, and so we were just like, let's not spend money on a hotel. We're leaving the same night, so all we did was sleep in the Tesla. This time we're like, let's get a hotel. And my biggest mistake was letting Abel pick the hotel. So we get in the hotel, and tell me why our bathroom has a see-through mirror. So when I'm showering or Abel's showering, you could see through the window. You could you could like from where we're sleeping at, you could see through the window of us showering. So yeah, that's all the information I'm gonna give you guys about that. But yeah, crazy. That was just in the span of 2 3 days of Vegas, and then straight to Javi's 21st, and then probably like 4 days later, that's when I finally went to Europe. Yes, guys, I finally visited Europe. I've been wanting to go since that was my dream like spot to visit is Europe. When I tell you it was like life changing, like I'm not trying to sound like I'm exaggerating or whatever. I just feel like I just see life in a different perspective. I'm not trying to get deep or nothing like that, but you just get caught up. At least I was like so caught up in my routine here of just going to work, then the gym, then recording videos, and that's pretty much it, you know? That you like forget that there's a whole like world to explore, like new people to meet, like new experiences, and that's what I basically did for those 2 weeks. So it was a dream come true, honestly. So let me run down how the trip went, right? So first, we went to Barcelona, Spain. Yes, guys, we went to Barcelona, Spain. Beautiful city, guys. I had the time of my life over there. I fell in love as soon as I got there. As soon as I got there, the first thing I did was go get some coffee. So I recorded a little TikTok of me getting a coffee, a little coffee run in Barcelona. And I went to the shop. It was really good. The coffee there was so good. And the guys there working were super nice. They gave me an extra coffee for free. And so first experience in Barcelona already going well. And the way I was going around Barcelona was on a bike, right? And I recorded a TikTok that was like riding around Barcelona, riding around Spain looking for BB Tricks, right? And BB Tricks, the singer. And she actually saw it and she liked it and she reposted it. So I don't know what that means. Is that a sign? I don't know, maybe, but yeah, it was just so fun, like riding around the bike around Barcelona. I have no idea where I'm at, so everything is new. I'm just looking at all the architecture and stuff. I had a blast. Um, and then the next day, the reason that we went to Barcelona was because El Clásico was going on. If you don't know what El Clásico is, it's basically a soccer game, between like the two best soccer teams in the world, which is Barcelona and Real Madrid. And I'm a Real Madrid fan, and we're in Barcelona, so I'm in enemy territory. So I kind of gotta be careful because they don't fuck around over there. They'll jump your ass if you're from the other team. And we didn't get tickets, right? Because they were kind of expensive, right? So we were like, like I don't know. We were like, let's just go buy a bar like close to the stadium, right? And that was the plan. So once we got close to the stadium and I seen all the fans and like everyone going in, like I was like, I was like, I should have just bought the tickets. And I went to the little ticket booth and they were like, there's some online. Guys, I spent $1,000 on the ticket, on just one ticket. Was it worth it? Yes. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat. The game was amazing, bro. Was it like 3-2, something like 4-2? I think I seen like 7 goals, so I got my money worth. Although Real Madrid lost, it was still a dream come true. Like seeing all the big players like play. You know what I mean? Every person that plays soccer, their dream is to play for those two teams. You know, and you always see them on TV and stuff. So like getting to experience that finally for the first time was 10 out of 10 experience. The way the game started, my team Real Madrid scored 2 goals in the first like 5 minutes, and I wasn't sure if I should celebrate or not because I was like the only Madrid fan sitting with all the Barcelona fans. But when the first goal happened, like it just happened naturally. And I started celebrating, and everybody was so quiet. And as soon as I started screaming, everybody was like who the fuck is this, right? And then they found out I'm a Madrid fan, so everybody's kind of like looking at me and stuff. And what's it called? The guy next to me, once we were winning 2-0, he was like, don't get too comfortable. Like, we're going to come back. And guys, they came back and we lost. And the guy, he told me, he was like, I told you. He's like, I told you. So the guy next to me, he was cool. You know what I'm saying? So the experience was amazing. Travis Scott was there. From my seat, I could barely see him. Whenever he would stand up and like celebrate or whatever, I could barely see him. So does that count as me seeing Travis Scott? I would say, yeah, I'll count it. You know what I'm saying? I'll count it. So that same night, we went clubbing in Barcelona. And I got my chain snatched in Barcelona. Hold on, let me run this down with you guys. So this is the second night. Everything was going well. We were pre-gaming. Bro, the party life over there is crazy. They don't open the clubs until like midnight, and it doesn't get like lit or whatever until like 2 a.m. And it gets super packed. Like I don't know if you guys ever seen the videos of the long ass lines. Like that's not a lie. It really gets long ass lines, right? And so everything went fine. We're inside. We're having a good time. And I don't know where I'm going through the crowd, and all I just feel is just someone grab my chin, just pah! And I'm like, what the fuck? So I turned around, like hella mad, and all I see is like four guys looking at me, smiling, and like going like this because they were like playing house music, and I was just like, oh my god! I was like, either one of these guys that are looking at me right now, smiling, like took my chain and they're trying to play it off, or the guy that took my chain is gone, and I don't know who it is, and I was like, whatever. I told my brother. I went with my brother, by the way, to this trip. I was like, they took my chain. And he was like, oh, he was like, well, there's nothing you could do now. And I was like, you're right. So I was like, not letting it bother me. And before you guys like make fun of me, like, bro, I would never get my chain snatched. Like, how you gonna get your how you gonna get your chain snatched in Barcelona? Da da da. Maybe like an hour, maybe like an hour after it happened, I found my chain on the floor. I don't know how. I don't know how he dropped it, but I found it, guys. So I still have my chain technically. So did it technically get snatched? I would say no, cause I got it back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then I was the next morning. Oh, and then you guys know that Bad Bunny song that says something like, how does it go? Salimos de la disco y estaba de día or something like that. Bro, I lived those lyrics. When we got out the club, the sun was rising. And the club, we went to Opium, by the way. If you guys want to know what club we went to, it's right next to the beach. So as soon as we got out, the sun is rising and everybody just started like going to the beach, right? So we went and I just took my clothes off and we got in the water. It was super cold. Like, you know what I mean? That's just like an experience that you'll never like experience out here, at least from where I'm from. So that's like a core memory I'm always gonna have. I really lived those Bad Bunny lyrics, and the water was cold, but it woke me up at least. I was super jet lagged. Like we're like 10 hours ahead from here, so it was crazy. Another thing that was amazing about Barcelona was their food. I think from all the places that I went to in Europe that we're gonna talk about, I think Barcelona had the best food. They have this traditional dish out there that's called paella, and it's just like rice with like mariscos and like carne or shrimp if you want to add that. And it was really good. Um, one of the days my brother was like sleeping, so I was bored and I couldn't sleep because I'm jet lagged. So I was like, you know what? I'm just go walk around, and I just started walking around the streets. It's probably like 1 a.m. or something, and I was gonna go to this one restaurant, but it was packed. So I just kept walking, and I found this dumpling spot. So I have a video of me eating dumplings by myself at 2 a.m. at a random little corner in Barcelona. Just guys, when I'm telling you that was the best dumplings I've ever had, they were amazing, bro. I don't think I said a word or anything. I just fucked them up. What else we tried over there? My brother tried some pasta and pizza that was really good. Um, their coffee was really good. Their pastries were really good. Just they had the best food from my trip. So Barcelona, 10 out of 10. I had a blast. Now I just gotta, go see rest of Spain next time. We gotta go to Madrid next time. Um, our next stop was Istanbul, Turkey. Hopefully I'm saying that right. If I'm butchering, I'm so sorry. And this was the spot that surprised me the most because I didn't know what to expect. And when I tell you guys that it blew my mind, guys. That whole city was beautiful, and it kind of like surprised me how modern it was. I was expecting like a little like I don't know what I was expecting, but I didn't think it was gonna be like that modern. You know what I mean? Um, and what did we do in Istanbul? We were just exploring the mosque, the temples out there, the views. We ate breakfast at this one restaurant. I think it was called Seven Hills, and it had a rooftop where you could had a view of both mosque, and they also had this table that had like little pieces of bread and like cheese, and you could grab some and feed the seagulls. So I got a couple of videos of me getting attacked by seagulls. The breakfast over there is like it's like unique. It's kind of like unique. Like you know how the breakfast here they'll give you it in like one big plate. Over there they give you like a bunch of little portions, but of a lot. So we have like a little plate of cheese, a little plate of ham, a little plate of sauce, a little plate of bread, a little plate, and it just fills the whole table and stuff. And this is one thing that's normal in Turkey is that after you're done eating, they bring you tea for free. And like the tea's pretty good and stuff. So I thought that was pretty nice. They give you free tea. What else? Their food over there, they love lamb over there. I tried lamb for the first time in Turkey, and it was really good. I was eating kebab out there. We had a kebab spot right in front of our hotel. The streets over there, it's like I was in SF. The streets are like this sometimes. I was getting a workout just walking around Istanbul. Oh yeah, we hit this one tower. I forgot the name of the tower, but it had like a 360 view of like almost all of Istanbul, and probably one of the best views I've ever seen, bro. I got a nice little video with the tripod. And they had a little croissant spot right next to the tower. It was a chocolate croissant, super good. Oh my god, I went back and got another one because it was that good. My whole hands are covered in Nutella and my face is covered in chocolates. It was busting. We also got on a little boat ride that took us like along the coast or whatever of Istanbul. I got a couple of videos of me on that. Super nice views. The water looks super clean. Like we got close to the bridge, and like Istanbul has like two, like they have the I don't know, I don't want to butcher the Turkish side, and then like on the other side of the water is like the Asian side of Turkey, because they have like two different whatever. So we kind of got to see both. On the boat ride, there was this guy taking pictures, and he had a parrot. And he asked me, he was like, "You want to take a picture with the parrot?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So he puts it on my shoulder, and as soon as he puts it on my shoulder, it starts biting my helix earring. And at the time, my helix earring was still kind of hurting, so it hurt. So I kind of like flinched. I was like, ah. And then the bird got scared, so he started flapping his wings. So I basically got attacked by a parrot on the boat. But yeah, I thought that was really funny. Back to the metro. So that's how we were getting like around Barcelona and Turkey. And once we were leaving, we were going to the airport. We had to take the metro. And my brother had asked this nice lady that was there, and he was like, "Do you know how to get to the airport?" And she was like, "Oh, which one?" Right? And my brother was like, "Oh, the Istanbul airport." And she was like, "Oh yeah, you just gotta go here, da da da." And we're like, "All right, thank you." And we're like following her directions, and I tell my brother, I'm like, "Are you sure this is the airport?" And then he's like, "Yeah, like the Istanbul airport." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, because she said there's two airports, and he's like, "Nah, it's this one, it's this one." So I was like, "Okay, all right." And so I'm following his lead, guys. We ended up at the wrong airport. I literally, first thing I said, I was like, "It's gonna be the wrong airport." And then we searched it up, guys. We were literally across the other side of Istanbul. We were on the wrong side. So we had like 4 hours to like get to the other side on metro, and we're like running around trying to get all the trains on time. And thankfully we barely made it, but we made it. And our next stop was Cappadocia, which is also in Turkey. And the whole reason we even went to Europe was to go to Cappadocia, because my brother, me and him were talking. We're like, where should we go? And we decided, like, let's go to Cappadocia, Turkey. And so everything else, like going to Barcelona and Istanbul, that came like after, right? So this was the main thing we were going for. And the reason that we wanted to go to Cappadocia was to get on the hot air balloons. And you guys are probably wondering, like, really? Like, y'all went all the way to Europe and Turkey just to get on a hot air balloon? Like, y'all could do that here. But no, guys, when I tell you that this hot air balloon ride was crazy, first of all, it's not just you going up. It's like hundreds of hot air balloons going up at the same time. So the sky is just full of hot air balloons, and like it just looks crazy. And Cappadocia is so beautiful, like all the mountains, the way they're shaped, like literally you look anywhere and the mountains are like beautiful. And we went during the sunrise, so everything was perfect. All the balloons, the sunrise, the mountains, the people we were on the balloon with were hella cool. It was just literally what we expected, because we and him watched videos and stuff like that. What we expected, it was exactly like how it was. Although I would say the camera and pictures does not do it justice at all, guys. It was just crazy. And it's funny because that's the whole reason we went to Europe in the first place, and we didn't even have tickets to get. And once we tried to get tickets, they were sold out. And thankfully, the hotel we stayed in a cave. By the way, our hotel was a cave. The guys they were like, "Oh, I might know somebody that has space in their balloon." Da da da. He like searched it up and whatever, and thankfully he had space, and we got it for cheaper than if we would have bought it online. So shout out the guy that was working the front desk. They were super nice. I gave him a 5 star on on what's it called, Expedia. Highly recommend, bro. You guys, it would not disappoint. I swear, guys, you guys should do it. Cappadocia, Turkey, 10 out of 10 experience. What else happened? Oh, I did a little coffee run in Cappadocia as well, and that was pretty fun to record. And the coffee again is in Turkey, so the coffee was pretty good. I had this like chocolate like pastry that was super good. I went back the next day and got another one because I'm a big back and stuff. Um, what else we do in Cappadocia? Oh, we rented out some, so they don't have a metro there, so we rented out some scooters or like little segways, and they gave me a little pink helmet, so we were just riding around Cappadocia on those little scooters. And guys, I don't know why, for some reason, riding those segways like scooter things around Cappadocia gave me more of a adrenaline rush than jumping off a plane in Vegas. I don't know why. Maybe because like we're on the road on the freeway going super fast. You got big trucks like passing you in like traffic, and like I don't know. I just had such a good time like riding the segways. Um we were exploring like all the caves and like churches and they have there. There was this one spot that we were like underground tunnels, and we're like exploring it, and there's this one certain tunnel which is super small, and we didn't know it was like it gets smaller and smaller, so we went in too deep, where to the point that we were like this, and we couldn't turn around to like we couldn't turn around to like start getting out the cave. So we literally had to like go like this and just like back out. And there's no light. The only light we had there was our phone. And it was just so funny because we also went with this other friend. So the people on this trip was me, my brother, my brother's friend. Shout out Will. Um, it was funny because he's like, guys, I think I'm stuck. It's like I'm stuck. I can't turn around. And then there's like a clip of me just like I'm also look like I'm about to get stuck, and I'm just laughing. I can't stop laughing because he was like actually stuck. And eventually we got out, whatever. Then we went to see other like sites and other views. We went to this one, I forgot the name of it, but it's something castle. They had like such a nice view. I posted a picture on Instagram. I'll pop it up. Um, Crazy view. Like I said, all of Cappadocia, wherever you look at, it was like a nice view, a nice mountain, a nice building, and the people there were super nice. I think out of all the places that I went to, I felt the safest there. Not saying I never felt safe in the other ones, but for that one, like it was just such a good vibe. There was something in the air in Cappadocia, I swear. Mind you guys, like all of this is going on when I'm still super jet lagged with like 3 hours of sleep every night and stuff. Cappadocia at night, obviously, is still super beautiful with all the lights and stuff. And I tried Turkish beer for the first time, and I swear it tasted exactly like Corona. I don't know if I'm tripping, but I have a little video, and I'm like, it tastes like regular beer. But yeah, it was pretty good. The food was really good. They have this lamb. I think on the menu is called like lamb pottery or something like that, and it's basically like lamb inside a pot, and they put the pot on fire, and then once the fire goes down, they kind of just like slam the pot, and like all the lamb comes out or whatever. Like super good, pretty cheap as well. Oh yeah, a lot of you guys asked how much like all of this costs. A lot of you guys think that I have money left and right, but I honestly think you could do the trip that I did for those 2 weeks. Like minimum that you would spend probably like $4,000. You know, I'm not gonna say how much I spent personally, but I feel like minimum that's how much you could spend. It's like $4,000. I think the most expensive is like the hotel and what in the flights. But if you don't mind, you get a cheap hotel, whatever, you should be fine, right? You guys, I recommend traveling the world. So yeah, Cappadocia was my favorite spot out of the whole trip. So yeah, we were there for like a couple of days, 2-3 days, and our next stop was Cairo, Egypt. Yes, guys, I went to Egypt. Egypt would probably be the last place I would think I would go, but I don't know how we decided to go, and I was like, let's go. So Istanbul, Turkey was the one that surprised me the most. Cappadocia was my favorite spot, and Cairo, Egypt was the craziest spot. So we get there, guys, and as soon as we land, an undercover cop comes and starts asking for our passports, and I'm kind of like, who are you? Like, you don't look like no security or nothing. But he showed us his badge or whatever. He took our passports, and they were checking us, and they were like, hey, like, what did you bring? And we're like, what do you mean? Just nothing, just regular stuff. And he's like, do you guys smoke? And my brother was like, yeah, I smoke cigarettes. And he doesn't smoke cigarettes, by the way. But he was like, I smoke cigarettes. And he was like, what else? Is that it? And then he was like, oh, I vape. And he was like, oh, let me see the vapes. And he had it in his bag. So he takes out the 2 vapes that he had, and they start like looking at it or whatever, start smelling it. And he was like, you guys have no THC on you guys? And we kind of just like, no. And he's like, okay, like, so you guys don't smoke that? We're like, no. And my brother was like, I just smoke cigarettes and I vape. And I tried to stay quiet. I didn't want to say nothing. And I was low-key shitting bricks. Like, fuck. I was shitting bricks because I knew that, first of all, if the Egyptian government's looking at this is all, like, for entertainment purposes. All of this is alleged. You know what I'm saying? This is all fun and games. I was just trying to, like, not say nothing because I knew I had a wax pen on me, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck. I was like, if they check me, I'm going to jail, bro, in Egypt, and you guys are never gonna see me again. And he started smelling the vapes, like making sure. He's like, what is this? We're like, oh, it's nicotine. Like, thankfully they didn't check us like that, nothing crazy, and like they let us go. But we're like, fuck, like if they would have checked us or whatever, again, entertainment purposes, this is all jokes. So yeah, and then we go to our hotel, and our hotel is right next to the pyramids, like literally right next to the entrance to go to the pyramids. And they have a little rooftop or whatever, and they have a perfect view of the pyramids. And I recorded myself like my first time seeing them, and I don't know why I was just geeking, because I was like, that's one of the 7 wonders of the world, and I'm here, like, you know what I mean? That's like another bucket list. That's like another thing on my bucket list that I want to do, and I'm doing it, you know. So it was kind of crazy. And I bought the little, like, it's not like an Egyptian robe. It's more like a Arab robe. I don't know the name of it, but I did a couple TikToks on it. Did I get scammed for that robe? I most likely got scammed for that robe. I paid like $70 for it, but I don't like negotiating just because I don't have time. You know, I'm like, you know what? If I want it, I'm going to get it regardless. So I just got it. So the next morning, we wake up super early and have breakfast, and their breakfast over there is similar to Turkey. It's just like a bunch of small portions of a lot of things, like cheese, bread, meat, and stuff like that. And yeah, we go to the pyramids, and I wanted to ride a camel. I told my brother, I was like, we're riding a camel. So first thing we do is go get a camel. And it was my first time riding a camel, and I was not expecting them to be so tall. Like, I thought it was, I knew they were tall, but not like when they stand up, they're like, I'm like, oh fuck. And so we were just riding around the pyramids in a camel, and I'm over here recording myself, having the time of my life. We had a guide. Do I recommend a guide? I would say so. Honestly, our guide was really like nice, and he was funny, and he was like giving us like teaching us about the pyramids and stuff. So what I recommended, I would say so, unless you just want to, just walk. It's a lot of walking. It's hot, so I don't know if you want to, walk the whole thing. Like I said about the hot air balloons in Cappadocia, the pictures and videos do not do it justice, bro. Those pyramids in person are huge, bro. I was like breaking my neck, like trying to look at them. And it makes sense. You know how there's conspiracy theories that aliens built it because we don't know how they built it. It makes like low key, like it kind of made like, how did they build the pyramids? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. They're like, and then some of the cubes or whatever stones, they're like cut perfectly, and they're perfectly aligned to each other. And it's like, how did they make those cuts? Whatever. We're getting a little nerdy or whatever, but I was just mind blown, right? And we finally go inside the pyramid, and it's only one way up and one way down, so you kind of gotta wait for people to go through and stuff. And it was super hot in there, and I had the Arab robe on, whatever, so it was even hotter. And we make our way up to the tomb, like the king's tomb, and it's just like a room, kind of normal, like probably like this size, and it's just like one tomb there, and you like take pictures or whatever. I met this guy named Abdul, if that's how you say it. We took a picture together. He was just like, hop in, brother, hop in. I just hopped in, took a picture with him, and we kept riding the camels around the pyramids. And I recorded a TikTok that was like, it was the Nathaniel Cano song called Giza, which was perfect because I was at the Great Pyramids of Giza. So that was a good TikTok in my opinion. Um, we also recorded this TikTok. I texted Abel. I was like, Abel, um, just record yourself looking at your phone and then acting like surprised. I never tell Abel the what the TikTok is. I just tell him what to do and he does it. And basically the TikTok was captioned like, checking my unemployed friend's story on a random Monday morning or something like that. And it just cuts to like Abel looking at his phone shocked, and then me being at the pyramids or whatever. I'll pop it up on the screen for y'all so y'all can know what I'm talking about. But that video did really good on Instagram. Oh, another thing about Egypt, the driving over there, they are crazy. Our Uber was driving like that motherfucker was in Tokyo Drift, bro. It's crazy. Um, some roads have no lanes, and the ones that do have lanes, they don't even follow the lanes, bro. They just do whatever they want. And you guys know how here, if you want to like go right or like switch lanes, you use your turn signal. The way they communicate on the road is just honking, and they know the different kind of honks. It's the same honk, but like they honk and they know it's like, oh, like I'm about to take a left, like let me through. Or like there's a honk, like aggressive honk, like get the fuck out the way, you know what I mean? And they drive super fast, like fuck. I was here like holding on to my seat, and I'm like looking and shit. I was like, man, if we crash, we crash, right? Oh yeah, we visited the Egyptian museum, which was pretty cool. They have like mummies there and like old tools, and it's like you just learn about the history and stuff like that. Oh guys, and then we went to this little like market spot, like a pulga, but in Egypt. And we're just walking around, just like having a good time. And these little girls come up to me and they're like, give me money. And I honestly, I didn't have no money, right? I didn't carry cash. So I was like, oh, like no money, no money. And tell me why these little girls look like, as soon as I tell them no money, they're like, give me money. And they hit me like in the back, like right here, like hello hard, just like, bah, like give me money. And they started running away. I was in shock. I was like, bro, I just got jumped by two little girls in Egypt. I was like, what the fuck? And then they went straight to my friend Will, and they did the same thing. They're like, give me money, and they started hitting him. But they started like actually like hitting him a couple of times. And my brother just starts dying. Instead of like doing anything, he just takes out his phone and he starts recording. My brother can't stop dying. And I'm just in shock that I got hit by a little girl. They're like, give me money, give me money. I'm like, fuck. Also, we went to this mall. Mind you, this mall is probably better than the malls that we have out here. So it was kind of weird. Like it was a super like modern mall, and like in the middle of like, not the best like neighborhood or whatever. I don't know who told us. They were like, oh, have you guys seen the snow on the 8th floor? And we're like, snow? And they're like, yeah, they have a little skiing area. So we went. And I went down the slide. I went inside a little ball, rolled down the hill. I made a little TikTok on over there. It felt nice because Egypt is so hot. It felt good like being there for like an hour or two, just know, in the cold. But yeah, Egypt was fun, bro. It was an experience. Would I go back to Egypt? Yeah, probably not Cairo, but like other places in Egypt, like Luxor and stuff like that. I heard they're really nice. Egypt was one for the books. That was the craziest one for me. Our next stop was Paris, France, the city of love. um, the first day there, we went to Disneyland because our friend Will had never gone to Disneyland. So we're like, you know what? Like, let's go to Disneyland so he can know what it's about. And we went. And compared to the ones that the Disneyland we have here, they had a couple rides that we don't have. Like they had a Ratatouille ride, which was my favorite, just because I think Ratatouille is my favorite Pixar movie. So that was my favorite ride. They had the typical ones like the Hollywood Tower, the one where they just drop you out of nowhere. I mean, yeah, it was Disneyland. They only had a couple like rides that we don't have out here in LA, but I had so much fun. I posted a picture of me with this Mickey Mouse sweater, and bro, when I tell you I was fighting this guy for it because we were both looking for the last medium size one, and they told us they was at the certain store. and me and him were just going store to store, like running around trying to look for it because I really wanted it. And it started raining, so I needed a sweater. And thankfully I got there first, and I got the sweater, and he was just like, like, um. But yeah, that was the first day. So the first day we kind of spent the whole time in Disneyland. After we went to go eat, and I tried snail in France for the first time. Uh, and I tried duck for the first time as well. And the way that you eat the snail, they give you these little pinzas, and Loki, they were kind of hard to grab, and then you got like a little fork, and you kind of like scoop the snail out. And you guys probably wondering, like, was it nasty? Was it good? Honestly, it was actually good. It didn't taste like snail. It kind of tasted like all I tasted was whatever seasoning they used. You know what I'm saying? So whatever seasoning, it just tasted like a bunch of seasoning, and it was good. They gave me probably like 10 snails. I ate all the 10 snails. And then I also had duck for the first time, which was pretty good as well. They love wine over there. They drink so much wine over there. I was trying red wine, white wine. I tried rosé. I was trying everything, and I went to this grocery store, and I seen that a bottle of wine costs like $3 or like €3. Bro, that's so cheap. I was like, wow, like no wonder people be like getting fucked up off wine over here because it's hella cheap and they love wine. So, and then the second day, that's when we really explored Paris. You know how I told you guys in the other places we were using the metro to get around. For some reason, we decided that we were just gonna walk all of Paris, France that day. We probably walked like 15 miles. That's what it felt like. I don't know how much we walked, but we were just like all the galleries and like art galleries and museums and everything. We visited the parks and stuff. We walked like from point A to point B to point C to point D, and we ended up in the Eiffel Tower, guys. And that's another spot where like it's just so crazy how your whole life, when you think about France, you think about the Eiffel Tower, and you're always seeing videos, and you're always like seeing pictures and stuff, and then actually being there and like seeing it in person, just there, like, wow, like, like you never thought you were gonna like see it. I also made a TikTok of me in Vegas, and you know how Vegas has their replica of the Eiffel Tower, and that was in the beginning of the month when I went skydiving. I knew I was going to Paris, so I was like, I don't know, it just clicked on me, and I was like, oh, like I'm gonna try to do a cool TikTok or whatever. And yeah, I'll pop it up on the screen. It was like a little transition video. It was like 10 seconds or whatever. I think it came out pretty cool. Guys, for some reason, this whole trip, I was not feeling photogenic at all. I don't know why, because I felt tired. I don't know if I felt like I had eye bags, but I feel like I could have taken like way better pictures of me in like these spots or whatever. But I didn't want to stress so much about it and stuff, so I was like, you know what, it's fine. I'll take some pictures. Si me gusta, me gustan. Si no, no. Yeah, Paris was so nice too, bro. The city was beautiful. I had a great time. It's funny because at the time of me recording this, PSG won the Champions League, which is the soccer team over there in France. So they went crazy. They were like partying and destroying stuff and just going crazy. So that would have been fun being, and in the city if I was there when they won the Champions League. And yeah, guys, that was the last stop. After Paris, we went back to Barcelona for the last 3 days of our trip, and we went clubbing. We went, like, we tried other food spots. But the last 3 days we were just kind of chilling in Barcelona, like at the beach, and just like having, like, just resting, because these past 2 weeks, or this past month for me, has just been crazy. Oh, I forgot to mention, it just came to my head, I don't know why. In Egypt, one of my favorite parts of that trip was, how I told you guys that our hotel was right next to the pyramids, and there was like a view on the roof, you could see the pyramids. I think one of my favorite parts was just at the end of the day, just at nighttime, like 1 a.m., just being up there, just chilling, looking at the pyramids, and just having like a one-on-one with my brother, and just like, talking about life and stuff like that. Like, that's another core memory that I'm not gonna forget. Yeah, bro, like I said, that that was life-changing for me, honestly. I never had, those were the 2 best weeks of my life, hands down. When I came back, people were like, damn, like, I seen you've been traveling the world, like, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm trying. And they're like, I forgot who was the first person that told me this. They were like, oh, the travel bug bit you, huh? And I was like, travel book? He was like, yeah. He's like, watch, you're not gonna stop traveling now. And I was like, wow, like you're right, because that's all I think about now. Is like, when's my next trip? Like, where am I going? Where would I love to go? I'm already researching stuff, and I think I should just tell you guys my plans, because I think I'm actually gonna do it. Um, in February, I'm going. In February, I'm going to Brazil for the Carnival, and I think April I'm going to Japan, because I still need to do more research in Japan. When's the best time to go? But those are my two trips that I'm for sure going next year. At the time of this recording, I'm going by myself. So if anybody wants to go, hit me up. I go with anybody. I don't mind. We'll have a blast out there. Um, so crazy, crazy month. And to end off this crazy month, I went to La Onda Fest 2025. Um, was it was it a good event? Yes. Was it better than last year? I don't think so. Just because last year it was the first one and my first time going. I didn't know what to expect, and it was such a good event. The lineup was so good that it set the bar so high that I feel like it was hard to pass that bar this year. But I still, don't get me wrong, I still had so much fun at the event. I still think that La Onda has the prettiest or like the nicest venue, or like whatever you want to call it, out of any festival I went. Like the grass is so nice and green, like it's super clean. Like if you haven't gone to La Onda, I recommend going. It's fun. I think the best performer this year for me was Marco Antonio Solis. It was my first time seeing him, and bro, every song he played was one of those like esa no. He just went crazy, and I didn't know that man puts a show. He doesn't just sing, like he puts a show. Like he plays the instruments, he dances, he cracks jokes. I think my favorite part of his performance was that he tells you like the story behind the song, and he tells you how he like wrote it or whatever, or what inspired him, and then he starts playing the song, and you're like, oh damn, like, and you recognize the song immediately, like that banger, like you're like, fuck, and you start singing with all the tias and tios next to me are going crazy. Yeah, I think Marco Antonio Solis was my favorite this year by far. Javi was there too. Javi did really good. I love when he went on. Clave Especial, I think they put up a good show. Oscar Maidon, Tito Doble P. I seen Tito Doble P again. He was at La Onda. I seen that guy like 6 times, and every time I see him, he doesn't disappoint. So shout. And I'm gonna see him again in August in Baja Fest. I'm going to Baja Fest, by the way. Just FYI. But yeah, guys, that's what I've been doing this past month. Crazy, crazy, crazy month. Like I said, I recommend traveling just because like it gives you a different perspective in certain things and stuff like that, and like we only have one life, you feel me? So might as well go explore the world. Yeah, like I said, I wanted to record this podcast because I want to come back in like 5 years from now and look at this video and be like, wow, like that was my first like Europe, my first travel trip. I posted a TikTok recently that is one of the earliest episodes that we have on our channel of us doing the podcast. And somebody had asked us, we were answering Instagram questions, and they were like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And I said something like, I don't care what happens or what I do for those 10 years, but as long as I get to travel the world throughout those years, I'll be happy. Then it cuts to me, traveling Europe. So I thought that video was, a little touching for me, seeing that. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to make this video real quick for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Like I said, we post a podcast once every 6 months. But when we do post, we got good stories to tell. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I'm going to Colombia next month. So if you want to see what I'm up to in Colombia, follow me on TikTok, on Instagram, on everything. Follow the RFB. Shout out you guys for watching the videos, for liking, for sharing, because half of the experiences, like getting invited to ESLABON, getting invited to Javi's birthday party, and all of this is because of you guys. So shout out you guys. Appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in 6 months. No, you know what? I'm going to make a podcast when I come back from Colombia. So, I'll see you guys in I'll see you guys in 3 weeks from now, a month from now. You know what I'm saying? Guys, thank you guys for watching. I love y'all, and we're out.